objective was to tell a folk tale to an appropriate audience and to encourage wonder and have it be entertaining. He selected a story that I think we can all relate to, so I think he succeeded immediately in terms of a marriage and differences between the two characters of the marriage and who was going to be right or who's going to be more powerful. And he brought to it, and I'm reflecting on David's commentary in the speech about evaluating and at the same time just trying to listen. And it's an interesting distinction. And John was so good that even though I'm sitting there writing notes and everything, I'm enthralled with how he presented the story and got drawn into this dialogue, this narrative, this interesting plot. He came out right in the beginning, very poised, with eye contact around the room, with a kind of warm expression on his face, giving us a sense that he really mastered this story. There was physical blocking, very minimal but very effective in terms of moving back, sort of like dramatic pause. At one point he clapped his hands when there was an interaction with the robbers, which was very effective. He made the distinction between Donna's approach and Don's approach in terms of how do we help this man. In the end, I think, in terms of suggestions, in listening to it, I'm not quite sure exactly, of course all stories, novels, films lend themselves to interpretation, what the theme was. Was it her karma and her good luck versus his kind of overpowering use of money? I think that might have been clarified at the end. But that minimal suggestion for improvement was overshadowed by conveying wonder. Hand gestures, physical gestures, bright expression on his face, setting up the context of where the story came from, taught in Spain, and good dramatic pause. I think you made a distinction at one point where you're telling the story, you're telling a folktale, but then there are characters that are talking, and when there was dialogue, you actually went a little bit more dramatically into the dialogue at one point. I thought I wrote down what the dialogue was. I can't find it, but you put an emphasis on each wanted to be in command, and so it was very enjoyable. Came across with great poise and confidence, and again, the distinction between listening. You brought me in as a listener, even though I was going to be doing the evaluation. Let me see if I have anything else here. I did write down. Just in general, John, vocal variety, which I got really into when I made a speech on that topic, I think that's something we can all kind of deal with. Vocal variety being highs and lows. Your volume, maybe it's my hearing, but your volume I'd like a little bit louder. Emphasis at certain points where can hear it better. Make sure that the back of the room can hear it. And then, of course, pitch and rhythm, tempo and all of that. But it just flowed beautifully. And at the end, I would have wanted more of a summary of not just the line from the folktale, but you see, this is what happened. Here's where you have luck, Carmen luck, or whatever the female contribution was there, versus Don's very egotistic use of money at the end, a little bit of a summary of that. Excellent, I enjoyed it.